Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful pleated boat neck dress. Come along and let's begin. I'll be using this Ankara print and this is the zipper we'll be using for it. So this dress does not have any extra design apart from the pleat, and this is the pattern. So for those who don't know how to draft princess that, I'm going to put the link below. So I had to draft it before um we begin the tutorial because the video is lengthy. So to get your boat neck, you are going to mark on the shoulder, you are going to mark 5 inches, then come down by 3 inches. Okay, so mark 5 inches on the shoulder and come down by 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and do the same thing for the 5 inches on the shoulder and 3 inches for the depth is for the front, while the back is 5 inches for the shoulder and 4.5 inches for depth. Okay, so that's what I use for mine. So that's what you're going to use for yours to get the boat neck. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So after marking it, I went ahead and cut out all my pattern pieces. I'm so sorry guys, the video tutorial on how I cut this was, I couldn't find it. I don't know what's wrong with my phone these days. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, so the princess dart for the front and the back. I'm putting a link on the description on how to achieve princess dart so that you'll be able to do it. Okay, so if you are not a beginner, this is quite easy for you. Just cut out your pattern pieces and you cut it on your fabric. After cutting out the pattern pieces, add your sewing allowance to all the pieces. After adding your sewing allowance to all the pieces, you are going to now use the pattern to cut it out. Okay, so for the front, remember the neckline is 5 inches for the wideness, while the depth is 3 inches. For the back is 5 inches for the wideness, the depth is 4.5 or 5 inches. Okay, so I went ahead and I used it to cut out the fabric. After cutting out the fabric, you are going to cut out your sleeve. If you want to attach pocket, you can do that and cut out all the pieces that you need for the dress. Okay, so this is how you are going to attach it to your dress. You are going to open it up. The front is cut off fold, while the back you'll be cutting out 2 pieces for the midpoint. Okay, then the side is 2 pieces. So for the back we have 4, while the front we have total of 3. So for us to be able to get the pleat for our dress, the bottom part, I'm going to fold my fabric into a triangle. Then you can also fold the triangle into 2. Okay, so you are folding the triangle once. After you fold it once, you are going to also fold that same triangle into 2. That is going to give you 360 degree. Okay, so that's what you are going to use. But if you fold it without folding it into 2, you are going to cut it twice. Okay, so go ahead and divide your waist by 6.8. After dividing your waist by 6.8, whatever you have, just mark it there and come down. After marking it, you are going to now come down from that point that you mark and you are going to mark your skirt length. Okay, so the total length I'm using is 39 inches. So you go ahead and mark 39 inches round the fabric. So I'm so sorry, I'm just using the length of my table. So that's how you are going to do it. So I'm just going to drag it up and show you exactly how I'm marking it. So just mark it round. Okay, as a method of cutting your circle outfit, so mark it round. But you can also just gather this, you can just cut it out without using the circle effect, okay? So you can pleat it on it without cutting it out as a circle. But if you cut it as a flay or circle skirt, is going to have that flay effect, it's going to have that effect when it stands. But you can just go ahead and gather it because it's an Ankara fabric, and you know Ankara fabric is 45 degrees, so when you cut it sometimes you might not be able to get exactly what you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark everything. After marking everything, I'm going to cut it out. This is how it looks after I'm done cutting it out. Okay, so keep it aside. After keeping it aside, we are going to now work on the upper part of the dress. So I'm going to keep this aside. For the upper part, you are going to cut your wording. Okay, so this is the wording. What I did was I added stay in between the fabric and the wording. Okay, so after you are done, take it to your ironing table and iron every part together, so it's going to be very firm. After ironing it, this is how it looks. Can you see how firm it is? It's going to be very firm when you iron it with the stay together. So now you are going to pin the sides, then stitch it by half an inch. You do the same thing for the other side and stitch by half an inch. Then for the back, you are going to cut the fabric and you also do the same thing. Stitch on both sides and stitch by half an inch for the back and for the front. So do the same for your lining piece and for your main fabric. So on a norm, I always use stay for all my dresses, but this time I didn't because my client said the fabric was not that expensive, so she does not want to waste money on it. So we're going to now go ahead and stitch the shoulder to shoulder together. So stitch the shoulder to shoulder together of both the main fabric and the lining piece. Use the lining to turn out the main fabric, okay, for the neckline. That's all we are going to do. Don't worry, we are not using it to turn out the entire front upper part. So what I did was I turned out the neckline, then I'm going to now stitch the side of the main fabric to the main fabric, then the lining to the lining. No, normally you can also just stitch them together by attaching the lining piece to the main fabric and stitching it, then you turn it out underneath or on the armhole. That's not what we are going to do for this, okay? So you'll be stitching the main fabric to the main fabric while the lining to the lining, because we'll be using the lining piece to turn out the gown. So after stitching it, this is how it is, and can you see it? This is how it's going to be. So you are going to hide the stitch. The only stitch you'll be seeing is on the armhole, but that is if you want to do it that way. You can also cut lining for your armhole and turn it out. So I'll put a link on the description on how to do that. So take your total measurement of your front. After taking the total measurement of your front, you are now going to take the bottom part and pleat it on the main front. Okay, so the main Ankara, now you'll be pleating it on the main front of your outfit, like the main fabric. Then the lining piece, you pleat it on the lining piece of your outfit. Okay, so that's basically what I did. So you are going to now take the main Ankara. So my advice for you is, if you want the pleat to be much, there's no need to cut it out as circle, just pleat it round it, because you know Ankara is very, very trickish to work with because it's not that long. So I'm going to go ahead now and take the bottom part and pleat it to it. So this is the bottom part. What you are going to do now is you are going to now take your tape and measure how many inch you want to use to pleat it. Okay, so the plate we'll be using for this outfit is a bust plate. So you come this way and pleat one side. Can you see what I'm doing? After you pleat it, you can use half an inch because of how the fabric is. But if you did not cut it second and you have enough fabric, like you are just using it normal straight fabric, it's going to be easy because you have enough fabric to print round. Okay, if you not cut it circle. So now the bust split is you pleat half an inch, then you measure how many inches you want it to be, the wideness of the bust. So the wideness of the bust can be 2 inches. Okay, so you now measure and put it 2 inches. So you take that pleat that you are pleating, let it be closer. So what I did earlier, I gave a lot of space because I was thinking it would be enough for me, but I had to redo that part. So let it be closer to the other pleat. So the bust itself should be 2 inches. If you do it this method that I did the first time, you are going to have space on it. Okay, so let me show you how to do the other method. For this other method, you are going to now plait it 2 inches. Okay, so the pleating is 2 inches, the bust plate is 2 inches. So you pleat 2 inches, 2 inches. Can you see it? So you pleat it very close, let it be close. So the size of the bust will be 2 inches. So that's what I'm doing here. I had to make it fast because the pleating process was way longer. So you pleat to the left, then you come to the right and pleat. So that's basically for bust plate. Okay, you pleat to the left, then you come to the right and pleat. So you are going to pleat it all the way around your fabric. So that's basically what I did for mine. So you take your total measurement, whatever you have, that is what you are now going to attach to your main fabric. Okay, so you pleat to the left, then you come and pleat to the right. That's what you are going to do. You pleat left, then you pleat to the right, then you do the same thing round on the fabric. So after I'm done, I'm going to take it now and I'm going to stop stitch on it before attaching it to the upper part of the dress. So after pleating it now, you go ahead and you are going to now stitch it. Okay, bottom to the upper part. So you do the same thing for the lining piece. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch it and show you how it looks. This is the lining piece, okay, that I was talking about. So I've stitched it to the lining piece, and this is the main fabric. I've pinned it up, so I'm going to now go ahead and stitch it to the main fabric. Okay, so after pinning it up, just go ahead and stitch it all the way down. So that's what I'm going to do for mine. So before stitching it, I just want to explain the zipper part. So you are going to attach your zipper and you are going to use the lining piece to turn it out. Okay, so you place the zip on it, both sides. Remember how to fix your zip on your dress. Then you are going to come and use the lining piece. Can you see what I'm doing? That's what you are going to do. Place it, then use the lining piece to top stitch on it. So that's basically it for the zipper, on using your zipper to turn out your dress. So on the inside is going to be very neat. So I'm going to do it and show you how it looks when I'm done stitching it up. This is how it looks after stitching, after turning it out. Can you see the inside? So this is how it's going to be very neat on the inside. So you will not be able to see any stitching except on the armhole. But remember what I said, you can also turn out your armhole with your lining piece, then there will be no stitching on it. Okay, so this is it, and this is the bust plate. I went ahead and I just cut out a piece, a place on the side, then attach pockets to it. So for yours, you can just cut an opening, cut it up from the bottom all the way, then attach your pocket to it, okay? Or cut it when you are cutting your fabric and just attach the pocket to the side. So that is it basically for the dress. So now for the hem line, you are going to weave it. After weaving it, you can use hemming gum, or you just go ahead and stitch the bottom part. Then you can also turn it with the lining piece, but most clients don't like lining, much lining on their outfits. There are some that like it, so you have to ask them before you make their dresses. So for the sleeve, I am going to, since I'm not using lining piece for it, I'm going to iron it up with hemming gum. So you fold it once. After folding it once, then you are going to now put the hemming gum in between and iron it. So I'm going to show you what I did for the sleeve. After you've ironed it once, then you are going to iron it again before you put the hemming gum, so that it will be flat, okay? So iron it again, then you see what I did, then you put the hemming gum in between the second part. So that was what I did for mine. So if you finish stitching it, you'll be thinking they turn the armhole with lining piece, but it was not done with lining piece. So this is another method for you to stitch the armhole if you are not going to use lining for the armhole. So after you are done, just attach it to your dress and you are done stitching it. So I'm going to do that and show you how it looks after ironing and stitching. This is how it looks after stitching. Can you see it? So this is the effect of the pleat. This is how it looks on my mannequin after stitching. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching today's tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. God bless you and have a great day.